Hello and welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the vodcast. Welcome to the broadcast. Boys and girls, welcome to the show. This is Convincing Idiots. My name's Dean, the Zennial.
Brian, Gen X.
And my name is Nicholas, and I am the Millennial, along with my brand new buddy right here, Gizmo's my new puppy. Anyway, if you are joining Convincing Idiots and the puppy for the first time, we are all over social media. The easiest way to find us is going to our website, which is convincingidiots.wordpress.com. That's WORDPRESS.com. That's right. I did it right. Convincingidiots@wordpress.com. There you will find links to all of our social media accounts, as well as you can go to our Linktree. That's Convincing Idiots. You can Google Convincing Idiots Linktree, LINKTREE, and there you will find all of that fun stuff.
And
so
soon
we're
soon on the website we're also going to have bios up there for each of us.
Ooh,
That
where you can
way,
learn about us.
You can learn about us and learn about our backstory and the origin stories and whatnot.
Yeah.
That's right.
It'll be fascinating.
Yeah. So if I didn't mention, we are three friends representing three different generations. You may have gathered that, and we like to come here to talk about nerd and pop culture things. This podcast is available wherever you like to enjoy your podcasts, and links to all of those platforms can be found on either our website or the Convincing Idiots Linktree, or you can ask your home assistant device to play us. So we are back here. We were off last week. Everybody,
hey, home assistant device, find me a really adorable puppy, and then boom, this episode comes up.
Boom, Gizmo. Can you go say hi? There you are, right front and center for those watching on YouTube. If there's ever been a time to watch this podcast, this is the week. This little guy right here. Yes.
Super cute. What kind of puppy is he?
Normally,
what's that, Dean?
I was just going to say, normally you come to the podcast for the adorable furriness of Brian's beard. Now you get to come to it for Gizmo.
Yes, correct. Yes. And Gizmo here is a Yorkie Bichon mix. So he's a little guy. He is very, very tiny, as you might be able to tell from the video, and he's not going to get a whole bunch bigger. Maybe at his biggest, he might come in at a whopping 8 to 10 pounds by the time he's fully grown.
Like Nick.
So he's a little guy. Our little guys like to stick together. So yeah, we're getting along pretty famously here.
That's right. So, and we're in the same size boxer briefs.
That is correct. Yeah, it's nice that I can share underwear with the puppy. Yes, it's very nice. Yes, and my son Lane is here as well. So everybody is here. Yes. So we are here for another episode. We were off last week. We had we didn't plan to be off last week, but we had some issues arise. We had some fatigue set in and different things. Illnesses fallen, things like that. Everybody's okay now. Everyone is well rested.
I had a migraine, and I'm assuming what was only brought on by being awesome, but I didn't see a doctor about it. But
okay, well, and I don't think there's much that doctors can do about being awesome. Once you've reached a certain level of awesome, it's like you can't be helped.
Sometimes it can't contain itself, and that's how it comes out.
Just builds up. Just builds up, absolutely.
Are you going to have him in your arms for the whole show?
Yes. So, but yeah. Anyway, so what's new with you guys? Other than anybody else get any puppies this weekend? What happened, Brian? What's new with you?
I did not get a new puppy. Did not get a new puppy, but we did spend some time together. So we are actually. I know there's a lot of controversy out there if we are actual legit friends or we just play friends in photos and for the sake of this podcast. Right. So the public is continuing to demand to know we are actually friends.
It's a storied debate.
Yes, that's right. That's right. We spend time together. So the actual friendship, that's a whole other conversation. But we did spend some time on Saturday, Dean, for your lovely mother's birthday.
That is correct.
Locally, there's a horse race and casino track. And once Dean found the correct one that he invited everyone to go to, We actually spent some nice time together. So, unfortunately, the rain washed out the races, but still a nice time hanging out.
Why would they have two horse tracks so close together? And then name them similar things to where you put it in the GPS and it took us to the wrong horse track.
Yes, Northfield and Thistledowns. It's very close. it's very, very close. Very, very close. So
I put it into the phone and the phone took us there. I'm horrible with the directions anyways. I'm a really I have no sense of directions. So I entrust this 21st century contraption that is our phones to take us places and know where they're going. And what
now
took me to the wrong spot?
Does the 21st century device also type for you? Because that appears to be maybe the problem that was had here.
I cannot confirm nor deny that.
Well, it was a nice time nonetheless. We all got to spend some fun part of our evening together. That was good. And then I had some nice quality time with other friends and Allie over the weekend as well. So that's what I did. So how about you, Dean? So once you beyond the time with family, what else did you do this weekend?
Not much. I took in the new movie, which we'll talk about it here in a little bit, but the Suicide Squad. I watched that.
Yes.
Just kind of relaxed, hung out, didn't do a whole lot. I think I went out to have drinks with my boss.
And, yes, Friday you said you did that, right?
Yeah. So other than that, not much.
Okay. Nick, obviously you welcomed in a new member of the family this weekend.
Yeah, I had a busy weekend. This was a good weekend. It was I took Friday off work on a whim. It's towards the end of summer, so wife and I took the boys to the zoo and stuff like that. We went to a nice local brewery here in Akron called Missing Falls Brewery for lunch. Played some pinball. That was a lot of fun. So Robin got a couple beers in me. I had a nice day, and then she took me to a pet store and held puppies. And the next thing you know, I'm paying for a puppy. No regrets though. But yeah, got a new puppy. Good family time. Got to see my aunt for her birthday. Got to hang out with Dean's mom, my mother-in-law, for her birthday, and with you guys as well. And then Sunday got to golf with some buddies. So it was just a really, really nice weekend all the way around. So, but
sounds super busy.
Yeah, it really was. I got a lot done, but yeah, it was fun. I wouldn't have changed any part of it. It was a good time. So.
Excellent.
Yeah. All right. Well, Gizmo is retiring for the evening, so he will say goodnight to you guys. Sweet dreams, Gizmo. Goodbye. And now we're going to lose all of our viewers because our newest member is gone.
There it is.
All right.
He may come back, but you have to stay in for the entire episode.
That's right.
You never know.
He may make an appearance. Matter of fact, you never know from the here on out.
You never know. Yeah.
At any point, Gizmo may reappear and fill the screen with some added cuteness there.
That's right. So, that's right.
Hashtag Gizmo cameo.
That's good.
Gizmo. Oh, also, in the naming process, Gizmo is the name we landed on. Obviously, it was derived from the Gremlins movie, but it was really the only name that all four of us in our family meeting could actually agree upon. My name suggestion of Austin Matthews as a Maple Leafs fan was shot down, as well as Falcor. I thought Falcor would have been a great name. I think maybe we'll make Falcor the middle name though. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is Falcor?
Falcor is the name of the dragon dog thing from the Neverending Story. If you guys are familiar, that big white dragon-like giant dog. Yep. Falcor.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, at least you didn't give it some name from Jingle All the Way, Dean.
Who would name their kid? Who would name their dog Shitty Movie?
God, Turbo Man would have been a great name for that dog.
Actually, it would be kind of a kick-ass name.
That would be good.
Name a dog Turbo Man. You're right.
Or even Arnold. Arnold would be good.
Yeah. Or Arnold Sky could be like, "What's your dog's name?" Howard Langston. What's that? Howard Langston. Is the dog's name? yes.
Uh-huh.
And then they go, why? And then I go, have you seen Jingle All the Way? And they go, no. And I'm like, remember that famous man? And they go, no. And I'd say, well, you remember Arnold Schwarzenegger? And they'd say, yes. And then I would say, that is the name of a character from a movie that you didn't know he was in. And that would be a great time.
So I've got a question, though. Give us some of the other names from family members that were suggested.
Robin wanted to name it Cat.
Cat, I like Cat the
just
dog.
Cat the dog. Lane wanted to name it after, was it, I'm going to mess it up. It's some anime character. I have no idea. Bogoro, something. I don't know.
Okay.
I can't remember some of the other suggestions. I feel like I was coming the most furiously with the different suggestions. I felt like I wasn't getting a lot of help around the table from anybody else. But Lane really wanted to go with some anime character names, which, were going to be difficult to pronounce. And also he probably, in years to come would have been like, where did we come up with that name again? So Gizmo was a good one. It fit the dog.
It's solid.
So, yeah. Yeah. So, and I will say, it's kind of funny. I didn't think of this until just now, but when we were at the pet store, when we saw him, the reason we asked to hold this specific puppy was because he was in the cage with two of his brothers and or sisters. I'm not sure. But the two of them were fighting each other, right? They're just gnawing at each other and playing and hopping around and tackling each other. And he's just laying there, calm as can be. And at one point, they're actually fighting over top of him. Like they were he's just laying down and he's just kind of got this kind of sad look on his face. So we're like, let's see that dog. He seems pretty chill. So he's very Gizmo-esque of, the other,
that's actually it's interesting because that's actually how we spent our Saturday night, the three of us.
Yes.
Brian just laid there all chill while you and I were gnawing down each other's ears over top of him. It was adorable as well.
Don't hump that thing. That's your brother-in-law. Don't hump that. Yep.
Oh, look what you've done.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but it was a good time hanging out with you guys this weekend. That was fun. We got to spend some time together and not watch horse racing necessarily, but go to a casino not gamble, but drink beer there.
Air.
Yes, the cushiony floors, the good air that the casino pumps in. It's just you never feel that alive. Really, it's just fantastic.
I like looking at the horse track. That's another level.
Yes,
but this when you have the regulars in there, the regulars that they know all the way around the whole place. They know how to use the betting kiosk. They know what's going on. They know the odds,
and they're friends with each other. It's a whole thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Like, where's Jerry at when he's not there? It's like,
right.
It's a different vibe there. That's what I was telling Brian while Dean was lost somewhere near the area. We were walking around, and I'm like, you know what? It's not a sad place to be if you were like just a single older gentleman alone. Nobody really has to know that you're alone. You go sit in your private kiosk. Maybe you win some money. You drink $3 beers. I mean, that's right there. It's a swanky little spot to hang out in.
You're going to know the other. You're going to know the other Jerrys that are sitting around by themselves.
Jerry G, Jerry B, Jerry A. Like they're
That's right.
There.
Yep. A lot of dudes knew the staff. You know what I'm saying? They knew the bartenders. They knew so it's like these are folks that spent a lot of time at the track and all that. Oh, it is a nice place. I would say it was the MGM Casino in Northfield, Ohio. So if you're around this area, if you like that sort of thing, it's not like going up to the Cleveland casinos or anything like that. But it's a nice facility.
Sure,
you could play some slots, and the horse racing is fun. So that was a disappointment for everybody to have that washed away, but go back up there sometime. It is a lot of fun.
Yeah,
and they have a bad on draft. I mean, what do you?
They sure do.
So
and High Life, the champagne of beers.
That's correct.
Yep,
you don't see that very often. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
What are we drinking tonight, Nick? I know Nick. Last time we were together, Nick was drinking water or something. So he rarely drinks beer during the podcast.
I mean, I'm a professional.
I know it's horse shit.
I'm a professional.
Right.
I keeps it tight. It's a tight ship I run.
What flavor water are you drinking today?
Tonight I am drinking from one of my favorite breweries from the homeland in Barrie, Ontario, Canada. I am having a live transmission, which is a milkshake IPA from none other than Flying Monkeys Brewing Company.
Like, I was stuck in traffic behind that truck yesterday.
Right. So the funny story about that, I've looked everywhere. I fell in love with that brewery a couple years ago, and not just because they were Canadian, but every beer I ever saw in a store, they had these interesting cans that stuck out from everything else. They were very unique. So I'm like, I'm going to try this beer. And then I one time noticed there was a Canadian flag on one. I'm like, all right, cool. So I started buying this beer everywhere I saw it. Well, for a while, the store that I saw, the craft store that I would go to, my supplier, changed hands of ownership and dwindled down in selection vastly over time, and I couldn't find it anywhere anymore. Luckily, Dean was the one that tipped me off to a place in a nearby city in Wadsworth here that did stock it. So after all this time of trying to find Flying Monkey's products anywhere, and being tipped off to this place in Wadsworth, I am on my way to Magic City Brewing Company, which is near us here, that I frequent quite often. And what is right in front of me, other than said Flying Monkeys beer truck, like the whole thing, the sides, the back, Flying Monkeys everywhere, the logo. They pull into a beer and liquor store that is literally right next door to the brewery that I go to all the time.
The Leprechaun Party Store.
Yeah, I've never been in there.
Indeed.
I just, when I see liquor store, I don't know. I kind of think, liquor
you get
primarily.
A mixed crowd sometimes in those places.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, I never thought to go there for craft beer, so I guess they have it there too. So that's nice. That's close around here. But yeah, I'm a big fan of that brewery. I'd like to make a trip there. Next time I'm in Ontario, I would like to go to that brewery definitely and check it out.
I go to the Leprechaun frequently. That's where I get a lot of my bourbon and stuff like that. So
do they have a pretty good craft selection there, eh?
I had never bought beer in there, but they have a pretty good selection in general of stuff. So yeah, that's but they have a big beer or fridge, So so there you go. Pretty cool.
What are you drinking, Brian?
I am having Yuengling Oktoberfest.
Tis the season. Yep.
Tis the season.
Released. I don't like I don't like summer to end, but I do like the fall beers as they come out. So this is a quite good Oktoberfest Yuengling and very reasonably priced. So if you like that type of beer, a fine choice. So
yes.
Yeah, Yuengling's good.
Yeah.
But you, Dino, what you throwing back tonight?
Ignite Brewery has tapped their Oktoberfest as well.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So I'm working on that tonight.
Very good.
Oktoberfest. There we go.
That's right.
Very good. So the Oktoberfest can help ensure that we have a good time.
That's correct. What other kind
we can roll in the fall season safely and everything else. So
now, as we approach the fall season, what other kind of things can you be insured of?
Well, you can be insured of a lot of things. But what you're definitely going to be insured by is Blake Insurance.
Good call.
There is no other call, really. When it comes down to it, you see, Blake Insurance is an Erie insurance agency, located right here in Barberton, Ohio. They offer auto, home, renters, business, or even life insurance. You see, Erie Insurance is above all else in service. What you want to do is call 234-571-5359 or visit BlakeInsuranceLLC.com for your free 5-minute quote today.
Solid.
Excellent.
I feel more insured and assured, so
that's right.
Good.
That's right.
That's what I and Aaron Blake are here for.
Right. Excellent.
I do feel more. I mean, no joke here. We are friends with Aaron Blake, and I do have car insurance through Mr. Blake and Blake Insurance, and I feel better being insured by Blake Insurance. I can say.
Not only do I feel safe and secure and assured of my insurance, but the dude saved me like quite a bit a year on my car insurance. So
nice. New drinking game. If you're listening to the show, take a drink every time one of us says insurance or assurance.
That's very good.
And you chug if you realize that we're not fucking sure of the difference in the two words. So, so we just use them interchangeable.
Well, I assure you that most of Dean's insurance savings went right back into the Ignite Brewing Company, as we have said previously. So it's like a circular. It's like a circular. Yep, that's what it is.
I am single-handedly keeping Barberton alive.
Yes. Thank you.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Thank you. Keeping downtown rejuvenated.
That's right.
All right, so tonight, guys, we're just doing some random pop culture topics in addition to catching up, because we haven't talked. Of course, we've seen each other, but we haven't spoken on podcasts in a couple of weeks, like you guys said. So we'll get this one out of the way, because it is a sad story. An actress, Markie Post, passed away recently at age of 70. I did not realize the poor thing was suffering from cancer for a while. So if you do not know who that is, if you're at my age and Dean's age, probably, she was a prominent character on Night Court, which we know is one of Dean's favorite shows growing up, and she was quite good on that show. She made appearances in other shows as well, like a lot of 80s and late 70s television shows. She was made appearances on Cheers, Scrubs, Love Boat, Fantasy Island, A-Team.
Man who makes Clint Eastwood look so fine.
Yes, and she was a regular on Fall Guy there for a while as well. One of my favorite shows growing up as a kid. So,
who was she on Scrubs? Sorry,
I don't know if she was a regular.
She was Elliot's mom.
Oh, well, there you go. That's right. That's right.
Okay,
that's right.
Cool.
Very attractive woman, and oddly, is second original cast member to pass away
down
recently.
Responsible for young Dean's, one of young Dean's very first boners.
Neat.
So,
Aww.
There's some Dean trivia that might or might not be in the bio on our website.
Might or might not make it onto the gravestone as well.
Yeah, we'll
hers or mine.
We'll put up a trivia.
All right.
Trivia sometime. Who was one of the earlier actresses to arouse young Dean? Markie Post, A. B. Arthur, obviously.
Yes.
Loretta Swit, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
And the lady that played Flo on Alice. I can't think of her name. So it's two of those four.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Have we discussed first boners on the show? We have.
We haven't.
No.
Brian,
we haven't.
Who's yours?
Come on.
It's probably somebody we don't
let's
know.
Get into this.
Yeah,
I like this.
You know what? It's funny. It's like obviously I don't remember it at that level, but I do recall. I can't remember.
Was it B. Arthur
at that level? Look at him talking it up.
Was it B. Arthur on the Christmas special, the Star Wars holiday special?
No, and I think we probably talked about this in a prior episode, but I recall one of my first crushes was Morgan Fairchild. I remember my mom took me. I went into Spencer Gifts years ago. I was I think 7th grade, going into 8th grade, something like that. And I was looking at the posters. That was always a magical thing to be able to flip through the posters because they had all these.
I don't want to be rude, but
yeah.
How old were you?
7th grade.
7th grade. You can't use the term a couple years ago.
Oh, you know what I'm saying.
When you were in 7th grade. That was 83 years ago, Brian.
That was a while. That was a while. But I remember seeing this Morgan Fairchild poster, okay, and my mom they were always very liberal, pretty hip, pretty liberal. So I looked at it and
you should jerk off to that. They were like,
my mom was like, it's funny. My mom was like, you want that one? I'm like, yeah, thinking like, there's no way. And she's like, yeah, go get it. I'm like,
can she see my boner?
Yeah. So I remember, so as a kid,
you show that who's boss. You go get after that.
Well, I positioned it, of course. I'm laying in bed so I could look up on the ceiling, and there's the beautiful Morgan Fairchild wearing this cheetah print, negligee or whatever the hell she was wearing. So it's one of my earlier.
The rolled poster.
Funny feeling. Yeah,
Brian's mom hands it to him. Little Brian says, "Now you go treat your dick like it broke into your house."
Yeah, so there you go. So Morgan Fairchild.
Morgan Fairchild. Okay.
Yeah. So Dean, is it Markie Post or is there somebody else?
Post. No, it was Markie Post.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Young, just at Night Court. Amy. she was dressed in like this, business kind of suits and stuff. But I also remember her from The Fall Guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But given just not the body, but the face and just yeah,
she was beautiful.
I was a huge fan.
Yep. Yeah. Nick, who was one of your early?
My dick is crying.
So we've kind of touched on this, but is it possible to have? I was pretty young to have a physical boner, I think. So is it possible to have like an emotional boner, like an emoner?
Emoner.
Ooh, an emoner. Like my emoner. My first like feelings of like physical attraction was to Jessica Rabbit. Like as a child, like it was.
We did talk about
it was
this.
Very young.
Yes.
But I mean, yeah, it was. I had an emoner for Jessica Rabbit.
But who was the first one, like person you remember seeing it moving?
If I had to guess around that time, it's probably somebody because like it was big into wrestling at that time, so probably like the Ultimate Warrior or like Trish Stratus. I would. It probably was Trish Stratus.
Both had beautiful tits.
They did. They really did. Long, flowing hair. Yeah, no, if I had to guess, it would probably, I think back to some of the women that were coming up in wrestling at that time that I really liked a lot. And Trish Stratus was one of the ones that really stuck out to me, maybe in more ways than one. But
Miss Elizabeth is on that list for me too there.
Miss Elizabeth,
come to think of it.
I liked Lita a lot. Lita was up and coming when I was around probably that time.
Yeah. We had a whole episode. Now that I'm talking about it, we had a whole episode about our girl crushes and stuff.
Right.
Yes,
that's
right.
We really didn't focus on like our boners,
and we certainly didn't touch on emoners. So
never the emoner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go back and listen to that episode. I can't recall which one it was.
We talk about
me my first. We're talking about girl and guy crushes that we had growing up. So yeah, go back and listen to that if you want more subjects to make you uncomfortable or something like that. So.
I'm gonna bring you good. I'm gonna bring your boner. I'm gonna bring it good. So get up. It's gonna get erect. Brian really wants me to stop talking about the boner. Stop talking about the shaft and maybe a little bit of the balls. But I'm not gonna do it. Ooh yeah. It's actually macho boner right here.
Snap into a boner.
Snap into a boner.
Snap into a boner.
Ooh yeah. Sorry, Brian. Go ahead.
It's a good thing you put your puppy child to bed because
yes, that's true. It's adult time now. Yes,
it is.
Yeah.
Not for young floppy ears. No.
Mm-mm. So Dean is imitating wrestlers, which is a good segue into the next topic here. So the top.
So who died
movies,
in wrestling?
Nobody died.
Oh, okay.
Fortunately.
Okay.
That's actually not true, but you guys would know. So,
did a wrestler die?
Beautiful Bobby Eaton.
Beautiful Bobby Eaton. Okay.
Yeah. He passed away.
How old was he? Or is he? Or I'm sorry, was he?
Probably 60s, 50s, 60s, something.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
He was part of like WCW, NWA type situation.
Okay. No,
that's too bad. We're
Midnight Express.
Okay.
Well, I'll say who died for me. Tony Esposito, famous legendary goalie and for the Chicago Blackhawks hockey player, passed away. I think just today. It was all over my social media feeds today that I don't know if he passed today or what, but legendary Chicago Blackhawks goalie. His brother also was a famous player as well. So, but yeah, sad news. But anyway. Figure we'll embrace the obituaries category.
I like this. I mean, I don't like the section.
We don't like the obituaries.
I think there should be some words coming up across here, like obituary time or I don't know.
Like it's a newspaper. We should treat this podcast like a visual newspaper.
Convince the coffin.
Keep trying. Keep trying. Keep working on it. Keep working on it. Okay, well, so going back to wrestlers, the top 2 grossing movies in the box office
but it's
this
fun.
month.
We did go from hard penises to rigor mortis, so I guess there was some sort of correlation. And anyways, go ahead, Brian.
Yes,
random thought.
And this very clearly goes into movies. Absolutely. So the top 2 grossing movies this month are starring wrestlers, or former wrestlers, I should say. Well, one is a current wrestler, John Cena, in the Suicide Squad, number 2 in the box office for the month of August, and number 1, Jungle Cruise, starring The Rock, opened recently. So Dean, you have seen Jungle Cruise, and you and I have seen Suicide Squad. So, what did you think? Now, Jungle Cruise, I'm not.
Yeah. How was Jungle Cruise, and what is Jungle Cruise?
Okay. Jungle Cruise. It is exactly in
what
that
it sounds
vein.
Like.
Right.
It is literally a Jungle Cruise.
It's a ride. It's a ride at Disney. It's a ride at Disney.
Okay. But it is in the same vein as Pirates of the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's some. I don't want to give spoilers, but there's like some supernatural stuff. Like there was zombies in Pirates of the Caribbean when there at some point.
Yeah, undead or something like that.
Right.
Yes.
Well, they were
same thing here, and
thing.
He has a pet cat, but the premise is really he's a jungle, like he works on the Amazon jungle, has his own big boat in like the 1917, 1918, and he takes tourists through a tour of the Amazon the jungle, the whatever is that? Yeah. What river is that?
The Amazon. The
Amazon River.
Amazon. I don't know.
Amazon
maybe.
River, isn't it?
The Nile, perhaps.
The Nile
could be.
That's Egypt. That's a river in
Egypt.
Could
be. It's the Amazonian River. Could be. That's right.
Something like that. But I mean,
on this segment of geography with convincing,
right?
Where's that river? It's like.
It got water, it got the rock, and the rock didn't sink the water. I was very confused.
And the water rushes over the rocks and the rock, and it's a whole thing.
It's all sweaty and
science.
And then I'm like, oh, there's another boner. I'm like, oh no.
Somehow goes back to Markie Post.
That's
I don't
right.
know. It's weird. Okay, so is it worth watching? Go ahead.
It was. Honestly, I've only seen one of the Pirates of the Caribbean. The first one, and it was right up there. It's the same jokes, not same joke, but same feel, same tone. You have the pretty damsel in distress. You have
Is it Emily Blunt?
Yes.
Okay, so it's worth watching either way.
Yes, sure is.
Okay.
And she beats up a lot of guys, like a group of guys on her own. So it's that sort of thing. So
cool.
But yeah, definitely worth watching. I was glad we watched it.
You see the executives. You know what? We had one franchise based on a ride in the park. What are there other rides in the park?
It's a small world after all.
Small world after all. You got the teacups. You got the Haunted Mansion. No, we already did the Haunted Mansion.
They did it, yeah.
The guy's like, really? Yeah, it was at that Eddie Murphy movie. Oh, that was kind of bad, right? Yeah, we don't want to do that again. I think they actually might be trying to reboot that. I thought I heard maybe the Haunted Mansion.
Then you have the janitor walking by scrubbing. Any of you think about doing the toilet ride over there?
Toilet ride?
Well, yeah. You get people in the movie. I tell you, The Rock could do this. The Rock comes in and just takes a big old rock shit in the toilet. And then this super janitor got a cape on. He comes in with a super plunger and he just plunging. And that rock turd comes shooting out. And that janitor, he's a goddamn hero. National treasure. That's what I say.
But like, sir, you changed the name of that movie to Rock Shit and you got yourself a deal.
Yeah. All right, sir. So fire the janitor. How about Jungle Cruise? Yeah.
Hold on, can we still name it Rock Shit though? I mean, it's an incredible name here.
Rock Shit.
But now that I think about it, get the
because
rock
the Rock
for
Shit
the Jungle
causes
Cruise.
The whole. It is.
Yes.
It is the plot. The Rock Shit is the plot.
That's right.
Without the Rock Shit, you have no movie.
It feels like we just snuck into the pitch idea for Jungle Cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's how it went.
It's probably pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah. What other rides can we base a movie? I don't know. All right. Well, there you have it. Okay. Well, let's do this.
Space Mountain. I want to see the Space Mountain ride.
And you better have Ric Flair in there.
It's in development.
They can ride on Space Mountain.
Do it before he's in the obituary section of this podcast.
Yep. It's in development. All right. Well, before this podcast goes into the obituaries, why don't we go ahead? Yeah. We'll take a break. Nick will go sneak a cuddle with Gizmo real quick, and then we'll come back.
I'm empty.
So we'll talk about the next movie, biggest movie right now, co-starring a wrestler, the Suicide Squad. So we're going to leave you with a short break here. If you're on podcast, maybe a lovely voice will talk about our podcast platform here that we use.
So if you're not driving, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to have you do right now is close your eyes and enjoy the amazing dulcet tones of one Brian Fisher.
That's right. We'll
Take it away, Brian.
We'll be right back.
One.
Welcome back to Convincing Idiots. So we'll get into the Suicide Squad here in a second, but off camera we were talking about it. We thought that was a hilarious story. Again, we're talking about the veteran gamblers at the horse track. Okay, so you can buy a program for $2. Okay, and there's like 15 races, something like that, throughout the evening. Okay, and then they had the races were canceled because of rain. Then you can get a refund of your bets at the window. Okay, and then we all had kind of caught that. I think it was Robin pointed it out, Nick. Overheard this guy arguing with the poor lady. It probably has to deal with so much garbage throughout the day of these veteran gamblers and all that.
So, well, keep in mind before you say what it was. Keep in mind that this was on like race 3 of the evening. Maybe 3 races had gone by. Storm had rolled in. People had not only placed bets for the upcoming race, but some of these veteran gamblers of which you speak, have placed bets in advance for races yet to come. May that be races 4 through 15, what have you. So there's probably a decent amount of traffic coming to these windows, right? These tellers. A lot of them have been automated now. So the ones that are human that are left are probably even less. So they might have to deal with more people face to face. So they're refunding maybe not only people coming up to the window for that upcoming one, but ones down the line. Brian, continue. So amongst this craziness, go ahead, Brian.
So the guy... the guy's argument with this poor. So it's $2. Okay, you spend $2 on a program.
A bet. Yes. Oh, yes.
For the program.
No, the program that tells you what all the bets are coming up.
Yes.
The book.
Yeah.
So his logic was, hey, I paid for a program that was for 15 races. You guys gave me 3 races.
Only got to use 3.
So I am owed the difference of value back from the $2 that we jokingly said, what was it, like $1.89, something like that? Guys, like, no, $1.85. He was asking the woman behind the counter
for
$1.85. So in his logic was, it's about 5 cents, which is pretty good, around 5 cents a race. The program's $2. It's not quite but it's a pretty even math, I guess. It's pretty good rounded up number. He wanted to get $1.85 back, because to get the value that was not used of his purchase. So.
Just like to say, and I'm not the type of. I wish I were more frugal with my funds. Okay,
sure.
I should be in a lot of ways. So there is a certain amount of respect that I have for people who are frugal with their money, who feel that I'm gonna watch this stuff. I'm gonna This guy is not one of those guys that I respect. I feel as though, and I realize, I think I was standing with Brian in line with this, because we had placed a bet for the upcoming race. So I'm in line to be refunded my $2 because it never happened. We did buy a program. However, I didn't feel the need to ask for at least $2 more or even $1.85 back for the program. That's a bit over the top. So there's just a whole, I don't know how to even process that. Like, that's just a whole thing. Like, I respect people that watch their money, that feel they work hard for it, and regardless of how much they have of it, they are going to, get fair value. I feel for a place that's taking $2 bets on horses and charging you $3 a beer, I feel like you can just let go of the $2. It probably maybe it cost more than that to print that fucking thing than $2. I think when you go to these places, that's the reason like the beers are like $3 is because they're like, well, we're gonna get people in there. We're going to sell them a lot of beer. They're going to get a little looser with their wallets, and they're going to make more bets, and we're going to make more money. The money making is on the horses. They're already giving you the money back for the bets. I feel like it's kind of an over-the-top dick move to ask for $2 back for the program. You could literally find $2 if you go outside the casino and look around hard enough.
And that guy he's walking away once you gave him the money. And he's just counting every nickel in his hand, and he's just mumbling himself. It's just the goddamn principle of it.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yep. And then the opposite spectrum. Go ahead.
Like they spoke to the gods and were like, the casino orchestrated this weather condition that would somehow rob me of $1.85 unjustly. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And somewhere on the other end of the spectrum is maybe you and I, Nick. I am wearing a Mr. T T-shirt. Says I got no time for jibba jabba. If you can't see what I'm wearing,
I got no time for jibba jabba.
That's right. And then Nick had just showed us a Spawn.
Show him that new shirt,
show the camera.
Yeah.
This is Spawn T-shirt.
For those, we've done the superhero brackets and stuff, and I'm not the biggest comic book nerd, but if there is one comic book hero that I've always enjoyed, it is Spawn. So we'll shout out TeePublic on that. Couldn't pass up. That is the Spawn logo done in the old school Batman. Couldn't pass that up. So yeah, I got time for that. Yeah.
I mean, what do we have to offer for YouTube? Come for the puppy, stay for the Spawn T-shirt.
Right.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and as you said, Nick, so we're the TeePublic, so TeePublic.com.
TeePublic. They're always running specials. It's like 35. Yes. I mean, you wait every couple of weeks. It's like 35% off of everything in the store. The stickers, and it's independent artists that get the money, right? I mean, obviously a portion of it. They sign up with Teespring, or I'm sorry, Teespring is a different one. TeePublic, and independent artists make all these designs. A lot of original, cool stuff. A lot of creative people.
Almost anything you think of.
Yep.
Almost anything you can think of.
TeePublic, if I'm not mistaken, is where I got my Macho Man Randy Travis T-shirt.
I believe you're right.
There you go. Yep. A lot of good crossovers.
Literally almost anything.
Actually, a little teaser for you. I'll show them for people watching on YouTube. Along with that shirt, I ordered some stickers because there were some stickers that came along with it. So some of those are pretty good. I look forward to showing you those as well. But they're not here just yet. But yeah, good stuff.
Someday, Convincing Idiots logo merch, perhaps on TeePublic. Who knows?
You know what I always thought would be cool? And maybe this is a topic for off show between us, but fuck it, here we are.
Right,
our Convincing Idiots logo has the Einstein, right? That you see over my shoulder, that you see over Brian's shoulder, that Dean is not proudly representing anywhere over his shoulder. But we have this.
Other way.
You got the stick.
The sticker. It's under Teddy Roosevelt.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, I always thought it would be neat to make individual, like instead of Einstein, they're like in the caricature of Einstein, but there are faces, and maybe they say Zennial, Millennial, Gen X, or something like, or just Convincing Idiots, but whatever. But that'd be kind of cool.
Or like how? Okay. I might do this on Photoshop, but us three in some sort of where we're taking a picture with ourselves, our faces, and we superimpose Einstein hair on all three of us.
Yeah.
There you
go.
I could use it.
Might not be a T-shirt idea, but definitely a picture idea.
Yeah, that's good.
I like the idea of the earlier reference of maybe like the three of us in a dog cage, and Brian is laying down, looking up at Dean and I, grappling at each other and biting each other's ears.
That's I like that a lot.
I like it.
Hold on, were we talking about T-shirts or boners again? I can't remember.
That's the thing about our podcast is it checks a lot of boxes.
Mesh.
It checks a lot of boxes.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a good thing we're not actually recording this one tonight. We're just actually having like a normal phone conversation that would be very normal and not even flinch a subject matter that we were talking about here.
Is that why you haven't complained that I'm not wearing any pants?
You know what? We are recording, actually. Well, we'll probably just
no.
We'll just throw it out there. We need some.
Here we are.
We need some new.
I'll
some new
throw
content.
it out there. All right.
Okay, so the Suicide Squad. It's a nice, easy segue back to the Suicide Squad.
Sure.
So, Nick, you plan to watch it. Dean, you and I did watch it. So
I've been a busy fella buying puppies and being drunk. I haven't had time to watch it, but I do. It's in my plans.
Excuses.
It's in my plans.
Both valid excuses. Better than not watching the Doctor Strange. That's true. So, Dean, what did you think of the Suicide Squad?
My favorite movie of the year so far. Not just comic books. It was a lot of fun. It is what the DC universe should be going forward. Make Batman like this. Make Superman like this. Let's put this Suicide Squad versus the Justice League. Let's have fun with it. It's a comic book movie. Let's have fun with it. Let's do the ridiculous blood splatter and the writing in the clouds and stuff. Let's do it all. It was a lot of fun.
So, okay, we're there for a second, Nick.
I'm on low battery mode, so if I disappear for the evening, that's where I've gone. But we're at 20%. We're trucking along. We're fine.
All right, we'll get there.
All right. Yeah, I agree with you. So I don't know that I would say pick all the movies like that, but it definitely for me
at least.
Oh, no. I just mean I don't know if I would make all the DC movies like this. However, definitely a lot of fun, and it was easily the most fun I've had watching a DC movie probably since I talked about this in another podcast, but Shazam. I mean, to me, Shazam at the time for me was just different. It was a different feel. It was a different vibe. It was cheerful. It was funny. It was just different. I'm like, it was a refreshing change of pace for DC movies for me at the time. Beyond
who was your MVP
of this movie?
Yeah,
in this movie here, Idris Elba. Thoroughly enjoyed his performance.
100%. What a fucking badass!
Yeah. So James Gunn came in as if you're a fan, you know he directed the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. He's coming back to direct the third one. He was briefly fired from Marvel. Let's put it out there for questionable behavior, harassment type behavior, I think, Dean, or something like that.
Allegedly.
So they wanted to distance themselves from him. He goes over to DC. Now, hopefully none of that stuff happened. I don't know. So if something did happen,
nothing's been proven or convicted, or so we have to say allegedly.
Right. So we're talking about the talent. All things considered, hopefully none of that stuff happened. But he definitely has an eye and a vision for these type of movies. It felt kind of Guardians of the Galaxy-esque.
Now, there's no allegedly, though. Nick sexually harasses me on a daily basis.
Yes.
That is the opposite of allegedly.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely.
I mean, without proof, though, it is still allegedly. These are claims you're making.
I have
we're not going to get into proof. Move on. Brian, the movie was good. We liked the movie. Everybody liked the movie. It was good.
Great movie. A lot of fun. And they set this up to where they could easily continue and make more of these with different fun and weird villains. Great cast, great writing. I thought John Cena did a great job as Peacemaker.
Fantastic. Yep.
He was a good rival of Idris Elba. I like the dynamic they had where they're both trying to be equally as violent and show off their skills and how efficiently they can kill people, basically.
Now, did you see the both post credits?
No.
Okay.
I did not see both. I didn't see both. I have to go back. Go ahead.
Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, everybody listening, if you want it's spoiler alert, in 10 seconds. So everybody gets ready.
10, 9,
counting down.
8, 7.
I don't know. And once again, it's not going to matter.
5, 4.
That's putting way too many
3,
numbers on this.
2.
We're still moving.
There's one more coming. 1. Here it is.
Okay.
Go away now. Here's the spoiler.
Actually, I should probably ask Brian. Do you want to hear what they were?
I saw the Weasel.
The Weasel, yes, the Weasel was live. That was funny. And the very last post-credit scene.
It's coming now. Here it is.
There it is. John Cena in the hospital.
Oh, I did see that.
Okay.
Yes.
Because it's setting up for Peacemaker, the series coming out at the beginning of 22.
They're making a series. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize they're making a series. Okay. Yeah, just I don't know. Everybody was great, and Sylvester Stallone as King Shark. I love King Shark.
I watched the previews, and I'm thinking to myself, you're looking at the computer animated shark, the computer animated weasel, and I'm thinking to myself, this is going to be fucking ridiculous. But it all worked. It all somehow James Gunn got it all to, I don't want to say believable, but it definitely all worked.
I say it sounds like they embraced the ridiculousness. I mean, for someone from a party not seen it, it sounds like they embraced the ridiculousness, and that's what worked. And when you think, I mean, honestly, when you think of Guardians of the Galaxy, you take this giant tree person and this raccoon, and and these other cast. I mean, it can be done, and it can be a little hokey and embraced and ridiculous, but it works.
And you even have an emotional feeling at the end when Rocket is holding this, the piece of that used to be Groot. You know what I mean? And he's crying. I mean, to become emotionally attached to essentially a cartoon character, a computer animated cartoon character, that's impressive to me. I'll tell you what, for the Suicide Squad, the girl there, Ratcatcher 2, Danielle Core something or another.
Let's see. Go ahead.
It's Danielle something, but she's new, I think. She's only been in a couple things.
Melchior?
Yeah, Danielle Melchior. She's going to be a star. She was really good in it. And just she like even that dynamic with her and King Fish. Yeah. I really enjoyed that movie.
King Shark, but
King Shark, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
King Fish is a buffet in the Southern Carolina.
That's right. That's right. Margot Robbie.
I watched her eat there one time, and I thought she was wonderful in it. That's all I'm saying.
Yes. There's a kingfish up in Fairlawn, too, by the way. Anyway.
There is there?
Margot, yeah. Margot Robbie, I mean, plays Harley Quinn. We know that. But I thought that this depiction of her, I thought was quite good because she was still kind of crazy, but definitely a badass. She looked great. Some very excellent action scenes where they really zeroed in on her. That was a lot of fun. So
one of my favorite jokes was at the end, and this is a spoiler, but at the end when she looks over at Idris Elba and thought, called him, I can't remember what she called him, but she called him by the wrong name, or she called him by the driver's name, and he goes, "Do you really think that that's my name?" And me saying it isn't funny, but their dynamic between the two is fantastic.
Yeah,
it's a really great joke at the end. So.
Yeah, so hopefully DC learned something there to where it's like we have actually we do have some interesting characters. We do have some content that could be very good if done in the right way, not taking itself too serious, like Batman or Superman. Just have fun with it, like you said. Do something different. Do something. It didn't have a completely fresh feel because of the, Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff like that. I just like the lighter, fun feel to it. It's with that and like Ragnarok and stuff like that. They all don't need to be that way. They all can't be that way, or loses some of its luster, I guess, a little bit. But
you wouldn't be willing to. I mean, even if you take it out of it and make it into like the multiverse situation, you wouldn't even be okay with doing a Batman or a Superman in that style, just to see what it looked like. Especially Batman with like the goriness of him, pow bang type thing, and that, doing like a campiness of that.
That could be
interesting. That would be interesting.
If you took like live action Batman and mixed it with like Lego Batman, the way they kind of like he's kind of like a joke because he tries to be so brooding and everybody's like laughing at him.
James Gunn can do it.
That would be fun. Version of it.
I'm all in. James Gunn does Batman. His kind of Batman.
They did. I don't know if it still exists or not, but the DC Comics years ago did go back and actually relaunched a separate universe, like the Batman Classic Universe. So it's a comic book series that looks like Adam West and
right.
It's that Batman universe, and the villains look like the actors on the show, and it was written like the old show. It's like a continuation of that universe, right? You could do that. You're right. And this whole Flashpoint type things or whatever it is, just recast a live action, like classic feel Batman series type movie. And you're right. That would be fun. And you could make it very weird and campy and ultra violent and stuff like that would be kind of interesting. Yes, do stuff like that. Do something creative and fun.
Watch how Ben Affleck played against the comedic way of the kid who played the Flash, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You take Ben Affleck, and maybe in the story somehow where he is forced to team up with Harley Quinn. So you have Margot Robbie as batshit crazy chick with this serious Batman, and it could be funny.
Yeah,
sure. Once again, there's a way to do it.
And almost like you spin Ben Affleck Batman as like he's so uber serious that like she's poking fun at him the whole time, and it's like everything's so like dramatic and like he overplays it up so much. And yeah, that would be entertaining. I'd like that.
I think that could work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely go out and see it. It's worth it. It's on HBO Max on the normal streaming service for free if you have a subscription. So check that out. And yeah, just a lot of fun. Not for kids. Again, they're very violent and adult themes and all that. But
you said that right. But I was talking with Carter the other day, and I tell you, the violence and the cartoon blood and like when what's his name got his face blown off and it's just like kind of a pink circle.
Pete Davidson,
It is. Well, I didn't want to spoil it, so I didn't want to
give out
characters. Yeah. But actually, in the first 5 minutes, you kill off Pete Davidson, and I'm like, dude, I'm fucking in. Jesus, I'm all in for this. But it's the violence isn't much different than Mortal Kombat. So if you were okay with your kid watching Mortal Kombat,
okay, fair enough.
You'd be because it
probably less realistic too. Then you know what I mean? Like Mortal Kombat, like it's unrealistic the way that people were killed, obviously, but like the look of it was done well to what I mean. Like it gives you that.
But there
were
still
games have grown, they're more realistic.
Blood and
okay.
I'm talking like both of them had a scene. Both movies. Excuse me. I got my beer burps. Both movies had a scene where a head or a body or whatever was cut in half and it slid off.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's not real life. That's not how that happens. You know what I mean? If you take a saw and
if it's clean enough of a cut, it might.
Maybe I've never actually sawed somebody.
I mean, I don't know, but like I'm just.
Do you?
I don't know.
Well, it's the reaction of a lot of the viewers and listeners of the show. Like every third one, they listen and just something happens and their head just sort of slides off cleanly off their body like that. Yeah.
It's probably those commercials.
Mind blowing or mind numbing, you decide.
That's right. Mm-hmm. That's right. We want to know.
Blow long enough, it gets numb.
And it was cool to see Michael Rooker, savant, working with James Gunn again, who was it was the Ravager in Guardians of the Galaxy. Why can't I think of his name right now?
Yeah.
But the guy with the arrow and all that stuff, Star-Lord's father, basically, his adopted father, I should say.
Right.
But anyway,
I know him from Days of Thunder, but go ahead.
There you go. Yeah, Thank you. Yeah, so definitely check it out. Worth watching.
Even that scene, if you know what I'm talking about.
Sure.
That is ridiculous. You know what I mean? There's nothing like, oh my God, somebody think of the children. No, it's so cartoony and
clutch the pearls.
Exactly. So I'm okay with getting Carter's 9, and I'm going to let him watch it.
I think one of my favorite scenes is just so it was like they were getting briefed on the mission, and then King Shark's in the crowd. He puts his hand up and he like points to his hand.
Yes, that is like, a hand.
Hand. And the lady's like, yes, that is your hand. It's used for waving. He just kind of went like, just kind of sat back like,
I love
yep.
I love the butthole joke too. John Cena, as serious can be. Starfish or another people uses another words for a butthole. Do you think that has anything to do with it? And I can't remember Colorado or whatever the actress's name. She's like, no.
Yeah, Bloodsport looks at him like, what?
Nick, you got to see this
like, this
movie.
is my team. I'll watch
honestly,
it again.
I will too.
There's not many DC movies I
will watch that again.
All kidding aside, I cannot remember the last DC movie I watched. The closest one was to watch the Snyder cut of the Justice League just to see something different, which was okay. Okay. I don't recall the last one I watched more than one time on purpose, where I said, other than the Batman trilogy,
for sure.
Christian Bale, those I've watched several times.
Those are good movies.
Why?
I like them.
They're good movies. Except for I didn't care for the third one that much, but
it's not.
They're good movies. The first two
were the weakest.
The second one's the greatest, like one of the greatest movies ever.
The first two are very, very good. I think. Anyway. Anyhow,
if you took Batman out of those movies, they'd be pretty kick-ass.
I will watch this one more than once. And happily enjoy watching.
If Carter doesn't want to watch it, I will still watch it again.
That's right.
Nick, you really should. This one, you need to go out of your way to see it.
Going to watch it. Yes.
It is fun.
Yes, yeah,
it's a lot of fun. And once again, don't.
Although you guys really endorse Doctor Strange and the Winter Falcon as well, so.
Oh, we also endorse those as in like either A, superhero, or B, like almost kind of dramatic thing. We're telling you to go in and just have a fun time listening to. I mean, there's dick jokes and fart jokes, and there's. Yeah, I mean, it's just a fun movie. It's our kind of humor. It's absurdity. The violence is cartoonish, but still yet, like, there's a scene where they're having a competition killing people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
In a Rambo-esque style. It's all be able to say, and it makes it cool, the way they do the killings, but B, funny.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's Idris Elba and
John Cena
kind of go back and forth. Yeah.
And Bloodsport. Yeah. Okay. Well, something that we may not watch more than once, and some fans may not watch more than once based on the feedback out there, is Jeopardy. So, as we know, there's been a lot of guest hosts that's come throughout the summer. After the passing of the late, great Alex Trebek, who hosted the show for, 30 years, thereabouts. A lot of good guest hosts. A lot did very well in their own way. Some did not do so well, and they weren't received quite as well. The last one, as we talked about a little bit, was LeVar Burton, who, a lot of fans...
Geordie LaForge, they didn't like him?
I'm going to say, who?
Oh, Geordie LaForge.
LeVar Burton.
Geordie LaForge from Brian, you're supposed to be a nerd here. Come on.
From Star Trek?
Yes, the Next Generation. Geordie LaForge.
Never saw one full episode.
Oh, that's the best one. Are you shitting me?
Nope. Of all the Star Trek, all seasons, every single universe.
I can't say it's the best one. It's the only one I ever watched.
Even the original series. I may have watched one or two full episodes of the original series.
Dude,
not against it. Listen, not
Next Generation's so good.
Never got around to it. So it is something I'm not against it. I just never invested the time into
Real quick,
it. But,
Nick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nick. Yeah. What does Bobblehead Nick think of that? Just out of curiosity.
What does Bobblehead Nick think?
It's been a while since we've had his opinion.
What does Bobblehead Nick think of our resident leader? Gen X, mind you, so born of Star Trek.
The goddamn adult in the room.
Yeah.
What would Mr. Spock or Mr. Bobblehead Nick have to say about Brian not watching any of Captain Picard's missions?
I'm not very confident here.
Or Worf.
He don't know who fucking Worf is.
No. Are you aware of Klingons, Brian?
I know Klingons.
This is big. Ooh, he likes Klingons. He likes Klingons. That's good. but about not seeing it.
Brian thinks Klingons is what happens after he's done wiping.
Well,
I'll stick to it. I liked it.
About Klingons, it's good. About not seeing Next Generation, no. Fuck that.
No.
Fully accepted and deserved on my part. Yes, I agree. That's a big no from Bobblehead Nick that I've disapproval.
That surprises me. Not that you're not necessarily a Star Trek fan. I know that. I know we're
I thought you were going to say Bobblehead Nick's reaction. I'm like, dude, that was you doing that.
You could have controlled that. Like, I disagree with Bobblehead Nick. Like, I don't know what the fuck
something's happening.
You do you, Brian. I don't care. Whatever.
And you know what? In the movies, I never saw past the second movie either.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Well, but Next Generation, I don't know, for whatever reason. It was popular when I was younger. I remember vividly pairing it with fish sticks from the oven. I would eat fish sticks or chicken fingers and chicken gems, as they were referred to as Market Day. But I remember watching The Next Generation and like being a big fan of that show. Like, it was just,
you were an odd little boy.
Before I knew, like whatever Star Trek, like what, it was just a cool fucking show. And like, I don't know, it was on, and it was it was a good one. I would recommend. I say that not having watched it in like 20 years.
Nick.
So little mullet Nick eating fucking fish sticks.
Sitting Indian style eating fish sticks.
Okay, it's crisscross applesauce. Let's not be inside.
Not back then,
but it is now.
Look, Mom, it's Data. Look, it's Data. His little fish sticks.
Do you have fish sticks
twirling his mullet?
Yep.
Do you have fish sticks in your freezer right now, either one of you?
I don't think I do, no.
Dean?
I have the fish, like the patties or whatever, the
fillets, the lemon fillets or whatever. Gorton's,
yeah.
Yep. That's a single man's thing in the freezer, right there.
right.
The lemony, yeah.
I initially tricked my children into eating fish sticks because I told them they were chicken fingers or the French fry chicken, and it worked until they realized when they were actually informed what they were. But they worked. They were totally fine with that.
They were told.
They fucking didn't care. They was breading. That's all they cared about. What was inside was irrelevant, and it's covered in ketchup, so they don't give a shit. But I mean,
you need like a breaded looking spoon just to eat ketchup with, and they'll be fine.
I could grab a Guinness, Guinness was Dean's dog's name. A Gizmo. I could grab a Gizmo
dead,
turd.
So you could take his dead paw and deep fry it, and then use it to scoop up ketchup into your kids' mouths.
Fun idea. Not where I was going, but I could say grab a Gizmo turd, bread it. They dip it in ketchup and fucking eat it and be like, it's a chicken fry. Like, it's whatever. But yeah.
Okay, so thank you. Great. Again,
like,
another easy
if I could
segue
steer us right back onto the rails, would be great.
Yeah, so LeVar Burton.
Turn to the left. Turn to the left.
That's right. Recently hosted, it's like the Jungle Cruise, trying to get back on track.
Yeah. You're the rock shit.
So rock shit. Here's the rock shit.
Fucking rock shit.
Rock shit.
LeVar Burton the fans pleaded to get him to do a guest host. Others did a great job, and who is now in the running to get the permanent hosting job is
the rock shit.
No, the executive producer, Mike Richards, who
nobody's ever heard of. He's
Mike Richards,
not a celebrity. He's not.
Now
he didn't host.
Some have heard of him, it turns out, in the courtroom where he's had past harassment and discrimination lawsuits resurfaced, right? So
I'm not laughing at harassment, but of course, like, that's why anyone would know who he is.
And this guy looks like, just give me a file photo of a white dude. He may come up in your top 3. Okay, just his look, just a normal white bread suit. So what do you guys think, first of all, of the executive producer of Jeopardy maybe getting the guest host over other interesting guests, such as LeVar Burton, Aaron, and others out there?
I have a question.
Go, Nick. Go ahead.
Who suggested this? Who was clamoring for this? Who
he did? He's the executive producer. He goes, you know what? I'll do it.
That's what it seems like.
Fuck him. I'll do it.
Why would you? I guess I don't know if it's a glimpse into the psyche of people, perhaps with some form of power, that you would think it's a good idea to bring attention to yourself when you've got, especially this day and age. All of this, like, why, if there's these accusations, why would you think it's a good idea to bring yourself into the situation where people could have their yays or nays to the? What the fuck? Like,
I tell you what, he's sitting at the head of the table, right? And this is how this went. He's sitting at the head of the table.
That's some Trump shit. Like, why would you think that's a good idea?
People have these reports of all this social media chatter about this host and what the fans thought about this host, and LeVar Burton this, LeVar Burton that. Oh my God, there's so much. And he's just sitting there, and he's getting more annoyed, and he's getting more. He fucking hated Trebek. I mean, he was jealous as shit of him. And he's now at this point, he's sitting there and chewing his nail. And you know what? Slams his hand down the table. God damn it, fuck it. I'll do it. They go, what?
Nobody asked for that.
What? Who? What? You? Yeah, I'll do it. I can do it. I can do it. Get out. I'm doing it. I'll take over.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody very, very, very confused shuffles out.
Don't worry, guys. I'll step up. I'll get that. Nobody wanted you to do that. Nobody asked.
We didn't ask. But
nobody knows who the fuck you are.
Brian was trying to describe what he looks like. He looks like he's had a conversation or two with Chris Hansen.
Yeah, we'll put it up on the video and stuff like that. But just
look at him.
Yeah, just a very average looking white dude.
The contestant said they were 18. Huh?
Mm-hmm. Oh boy.
These wine coolers were all for me, of course.
Yeah. Well, plus you'd have to understand, like you said, it's okay. It's like anything you're doing that has a public eye like that, politics, some high profile job like this one. If you have something in your past that I would prefer, you know what, maybe it doesn't get out too much again. I prefer. It's like, nope, I'm going to do it anyways. And sure enough, people inevitably dig into your past and find some reason to have a story like this, you know. So
that's why listeners and viewers out there, don't you ever worry about convincing idiots getting too big for you, because the shit that we've said on this podcast will ensure that we are never to have any high profile job ever in our life. So we are here with you forever, no matter what. We'll never get too big or popular or famous for you.
Don't even go ahead and dig into what we did before this.
just take what's been said here as enough. And
this is the worst stuff we've ever done. So don't worry about those things in the past.
That's right.
I would just like to say, for the record, none of us, to my knowledge, have ever assaulted anyone or anything like that.
No.
To be very clear.
Yes.
I was
okay. I have never assaulted anyone.
I've never assaulted anyone. No.
All right, so let's go back real quick here. So, of all the guest hosts, and it's hard to remember all of them.
Yes.
Did you have anybody that hosted that at least the name was interesting to you, or do you want to?
LeVar Burton's a good fit.
Hands down.
He's an intelligent gentleman. He's someone that people are familiar with, and especially of a certain. I think he just fits kind of a general crowd that you would imagine for a Jeopardy viewership. Right. I think LeVar is a good pick.
You know, he didn't host. I don't think he guest host, and he's not going to give up his news spot. But I tell you, Brian Williams would be fantastic at it.
Mm-hmm. And if not LeVar Burton, I would say LeVar Ball would be a great one.
Huh?
Lorenzo Ball's father.
Yeah, why not? He could be Michael Jordan.
Did you throw that one out there because you didn't know who Brian Williams was, so you thought you'd give one back to me?
I thought Mayim Blalik or Mayim, the former.
I could see her, sure.
She was a literal rocket scientist, you know. I thought
right.
That was
her I don't know, but I feel like I should. But I don't know.
Blossom, the dirty chick off Big Bang Theory.
Yep.
Now, I do another podcast, as you guys know. It came from Gen X with Skinner and Keith. So, hey, guys, if you're listening to this here. So,
what up?
Hi.
Keith had an interesting comment. He's like, it's like kind of what you said, Nick. LeVar Burton, it's like people, at least Dean's age and I up, know who he is.
Yeah.
As you get older, you might be
We've
more
been welcoming him into our lives.
Yeah.
All of our lives.
Yeah.
You might be more prone to sit home and watch game shows as we get a little older and stay home a little bit more and all that. The guy could host a show for 10 years probably
known this
easily.
dude since you were rocking a mullet and eating fucking fish sticks. Like
That's right.
LeVar Burton.
That's right. That's it. Now Skinner's theory was that this guy is going to do a temporary job until Aaron Rodgers retires from football, and maybe they offer it to Aaron Rodgers. That was his theory. So I guess we'll see. But it's just a shame. You have a real opportunity to do something different. Alex Trebek was great, but obviously you had a white dude hosting the show for 30 years, did a great job. You have an opportunity to do something different, have a female host, have a minority host.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't get it. It's a shame. So we'll see what happens with the lawsuits and everything else. So,
and I mean, I understand the the wokeness and the wanting to include everybody, but this really isn't about. I mean, I understand what you're saying, Brian, but I don't
you
think
legitimately have way better options. Like,
no. I don't think this is let's go for a minority or let's go for a woman. LeVar Burton could be purple. He's just the best person for the job.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My like Balick or whatever her name is could be a Doberman Pinscher. As long as she's the best person for the job. And from all reports and stuff, I'll be honest with you, I didn't see either of the two, so I can't say for sure. All I know is I've heard LeVar Burton tell me about life since I was 5. You know what I mean? So that's how I know he could do the job efficiently and all of that. So
yeah.
Oh well said. I mean, absolutely. Yeah.
I guess we'll see. All right, that's what I got, guys. Looking at the time here, what you have anything else on your mind before we bring this episode?
How long do you? So, like, where we?
Go ahead.
Just as closing with the Jeopardy conversation,
Sure.
where are we at with that? Was that like? Is he still? Is he just planning to go ahead and like host it himself?
This is all recent. This is all very new news. This is just from August the 6th. That there's reports that the show's executive producer, Mike Richards, is the front runner to replace beloved host Alex Trebek. So
guess who put that story out?
Yeah, it's not a done deal yet, and like I said, it'll be interesting to see once these stories are out there if the other producers might be like, you did a fine job, Mike, but the harassment, maybe we want to sort of do something a little different or something like that.
Sort of not harass people. That'd be great.
Right.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
So that's where it's at. We'll watch that story and we'll report back on it. But
interesting.
But yeah, we got to go because none of us ain't got time for jibba jabba.
We got no time
for jibba jabba.
Yes,
that's right. Okay, so where can folks, Nick, find additional jibber jabber if they are so inclined to watch us or see us? Dean, go ahead.
And I'm going to do my normal interruption, and don't worry, you will like
at this point.
You will like this one. This one is worth it because we're going to go back old school, and we're going. Do you remember all the social media without just going the website?
Of course I do.
Okay, let's do that in Mr. T's voice, if you could.
Well,
it is poor fool.
Although I may not have time for jibber jibber, what I do have time for is to tell you all the places that we can find our social media accounts. We can be found on Facebook or YouTube if you simply search for Convincing Idiots. Don't be no fool. Don't be no idiot. Be convinced, fool. Search for Convincing Fools, Convincing Idiots. Also, you can go to Instagram. You have an Instagram? Go there. Search for @convincing_idiots. Or fools. But not fools, because idiots there. Also, you may go to Twitter, and that is @convincing_idiot. That is singular. There ain't no S on that, fool. Promise you that. Also, we can be found on TikTok. That is @convincing_idiots. Just like the website says, and that's @convincingidiots@gmail.com. So, don't be no fool. Ask your fool ass, fucking, I don't know, home assistant device to play the Convincing Idiots podcast. They say, hey, tell you something else, Alexa. Play me the Convincing Idiots podcast. She gonna play it for you. Also, you may find us on our link tree, LINKTREE. That is Convincing Idiots link tree. And if you can't remember all that stuff and you can't go there and see all the links, go to Convincing Idiots. And as I said, dots, fool, not at. ConvincingIdiots.wordpress.com. And that is where you will find all of your fool friends. So, if you don't go to all those pages and you don't hit like, you don't hit subscribe, you better believe I pity you. I pity you. This has been another episode of Convincing Idiots. I am your Millennial Nick.
I am the fool Zennial Dean.
I'm Brian, Gen X.
Have we convinced you that we are perhaps, any one of us, better options to host Jeopardy? Probably not. Maybe. Don't be no fool.
I would be awful.
Ham gravy.
My name is Mr. T. First name is Mr. Middle name is that period. Last name is T. Listen and listen good. I'm talking to you. When a new kid moves in on your block, what's your attitude? Do you figure, what do we need him for? Well, I pity the fool that makes that mistake. The friends you already got might not be all the friends you ever need. And when you keep new people out, just because they're new to you, you're only cheating yourself. So don't you ever write nobody off just because he's the new kid on the block. You never know what you might be missing till you get to know them. So take it from me, Mr. T.